because
Hmm.
somebody is not voicing something, they're holding it in. And a lot of times people will come to me with sore throats. And that's the
Hmm.
chakra. It's kind of the same principle, isn't it?
So interesting, right? I studied a
Yeah.
little bit Reiki. I did my Reiki too, and I'm interested in that modality even if I don't practice it. But for me, it's what I call a subtle modality. So basically, you have people coming to you, and with subtle awareness and change, you can really transform the way they feel. Isn't it really awesome? Um, when you have that happen, what do you do? So I'm not going to go science. Let's go for a moment of the science book, and I'm going to tell you what I feel about it. But I encourage people to look into it deeper if they like it. Um, what you do is to create a space of awareness. The person comes to you, and you notice something is here, and you not necessarily physical ideas only, but mental idea, right? It's a mental space and a physical space that you give in Reiki. That's my understanding of it,
Mm-hmm.
at least.
Mm-hmm.
By giving that space, you offer the potential for that person to pause in their life. Like we're running from right to left, up and down, from early in the day to end of the day, and we just don't spend the time with ourselves so much. It's getting to a point where it's changing more and more. I see more people saying like, "Well, actually, I can take like 5 minutes for myself now." Self-love, self-compassion. People are talking more about it, but we've been running a lot. So when people come and they pause and all the attention is toward that, there's a lot of processing. Their body's processing it, their mind is processing it, they're processing it. And the whole transformation is allowed to happen. There's an expression I love. It's awareness is the beginning of change. It's not from me, it's from someone in a meditation field. But awareness is just paying attention to things and noticing they're here. Your throat, for example, you say like, oh, you have a sore throat. Well, maybe you tighten your throat. Maybe the muscle are exhausted. Maybe it's because, like you said, you didn't word out something, which will match a bit the BPS system, right? The BPS system tells you that you can actually have pain even if it's not physical in the first place. It could be your finance, could be your relationship, your work. Maybe you're not happy with something. And that is a way to be translated in the body. It could be. So the science is going more toward and do subtle modalities. It's really the beauty of it. Now you can have validation saying like, when I do Reiki, I do something that works. So why? Oh, this is a science-based explanation of why it potentially works.
Mm-hmm. And and you hear of people all the time that have cured themselves of disease. For example, Louise Hay. You know who that is, right?
I've heard of her, yes.
And she has a book called Heal Thyself or something like that. Again, I
Yes.
apologize. My brain isn't working real well. And she talks about that same thing. And she actually, in this book, she gives uh, parts of your body that are associated with pain from certain things, just like you said earlier, just like you mentioned the some type of trauma or whatever you hold in your
Hmm?
body. And I know you have too, I'm sure of it, seen people that were
Oh, yeah.
so obsessed with something that went wrong in their lives that they made themselves physically ill from it.
Hmm.
And
I mean,
it makes me feel better that
go
people are
ahead, yeah.
looking at the whole picture. Doctors are looking at the whole picture now, kind of like how you do as well.
Exactly. It's exactly what is happening. There's actually a center I've heard about. I believe it's in Chicago, where you go in that one building and you're gonna go through all the medical field. Each little cubicle or room is a professional. So you can have in the same building your chiropractor, your acupuncturist, your personal trainer, your physical therapist, your massage therapist. There's everybody here instead of the radiologist, the surgeon, the neurosurgeon. So you can go to one place and they will guide you, kind of like a triage thing. You go from the first place, and after they move you up to the next person, which is what they already do. And this is in some structure like a professional athlete, like basketball players in the NBA. They go through a quick series of going from one person to another one, their athletic trainer to their therapist, because no one person can know it all. I don't believe it's possible. If not, I would like to meet that person. Everybody would, maybe.
Me too.
But right? Well, put a comment below if you're part of this person. Share it. But the medical field is opening to that reality that, yes, it's every individual is a very complex person and a beautiful person, and that complex and beautiful person needs attention, and some people will bring some kind of attention and some others. I personally believe it's based on a lot of traits, like, for example, what do you believe in life? How have you been brought up? So, for example, for me, my MD was an acupuncturist, so I'm open to acupuncture. Some people I've heard are not open to acupuncture. And interestingly enough, if you believe acupuncture is good for you, or if you believe acupuncture is useless, you have 60% apparently chances of success or not. So if you believe acupuncture is good, it might work a lot better than if you don't believe it works. So don't waste your time if you don't believe in acupuncture. Same thing with other modalities. So there's that trust relationship that people need to build now with the new health field. And the health field, like I said, is going through massive transformation. And like every transformation that I know of, they go at different speeds. Some people are in the front of the wagon, some in the back of the wagon, some in the middle. We try to get everybody on board. And that's the big unity message that I really want people to hear. I really want people to take the time with themselves. And when they go see a doctor, be patient with themselves as much as with the doctor. We're all learning. We're all doing the best we can. And if it doesn't work out, try someone else or try another approach. Keep one person that you really connect in the health field, like a good MD, a good doctor that you really connect with. And that person can help you and guide you from right to left. Like the title I've chosen for myself is the posture guide. Now, the word guide for me is to give you a guide to, like we talked about, the way of thinking, way of moving. But the guide is also someone who kind of show you a way. It's not going to do it for you, right? I mean, it's going to show you a way. And that's more like what I think about health. Health is something where we need some type of guidance. Most of the work is done by ourselves. But good guidance can make the difference between being stuck for 20 to 30 years or your whole life or less. It can be the difference between being stuck in an excruciating pain or kind of improving, even if it's slowly. We need to make sure that everybody understands that time is of importance in healing. We don't snap the fingers and get healed in 5 minutes. I don't think it works like that. So to get back to you, that's my understanding of the health field and why the doctor are important and why your approach is very on point with what is happening.
Very good. And, you know, another modality that I totally respect is acupressure and reflexology. Do you practice both of those as well?
So I used to, and I still do to some extent. Reflexology, I'm not as skilled as I would like to. And acupressure, I've studied under the name Tuina, which is the Chinese massage, when you get a chair massage from someone who studied the Tuina, or in Asia, their medical massage. It's kind of rough, but it's really invigorating. So I've studied this practice, but now I'm going more toward a different style of massage. My intention is really what carries the session. And my intention is getting more and more fine-tuned with what I'm learning with pen science. So if I talk to you about the BPS approach, I know that my hands can only do so much, but my intention can carry more message. And that's why I wanted to be online, to be able to carry and voice out beyond my hand. I like the fact that in acupressure, you will put your point on a specific part of the body to bring attention to that part. I like the idea that we shall do no harm. So I work within the scope of comfort of my client, physical and mental. I like also the fact that I can feel improvement as much with what I do and as much as with what my clients understand about the pain. So I offer them the support of those reading, those books on science or websites, or some of the videos I offer, or some of the podcasts that some people do, some of that interview that we're doing, as much information, asking people to keep on learning more and more. Like what I'm saying today might actually in the next 5 years be obsolete, unfortunately. So people need to keep being on their toes and rest when they're tired with their calf. But as they keep being on their toes and keep learning for new information, they will gather information that will say, yes, you know what, that works, but we actually find out why. That's the science behind the thing. I said to my clients now, you know, I think I worked with you in the past and I got lucky and things worked out. But now the more I learn, the more I realize why I got lucky in the protocol I was using with you. So I'm going to use less of the protocol that I think was just around the idea, but more of what is science-based, so that you can benefit the most and I can really carry you more than just wing it. So it's a long answer I gave you on acupuncture, acupressure, and reflexology. And one thing I will say, no matter the modality, human touch is healing. I mean, it's great. It's amazing. People should just, the idea of having your another person hug you or skin contact is a great benefit for the body.
Very good. Yes, that's so true. So I give you a virtual hug right now. Thank you. Thank you for that information. So you're a really cool guy, and you keep up on things, and you are hungry for knowledge. Why do you think you're like that?
Mm-hmm. It's a funny story. I'm gonna make it short, but basically, I used to study guitar, and my teacher always told me guitarists are lazy. They want to do the shortest way, the most effective way. So I'm spending a lot of time to save time in the future. If I study how to express a message more clearly, and I study really hard for a period of time, then I can express it with much more ease, rather than struggling my whole life. So I spend a lot of time to gather techniques and ways that save time for others.
Good. So what is a typical day in your life? What's it like?
Very mellow. I mean, I'm in San Diego, right? People in San Diego are kind of mellow. I will say I start my day with my body. So when I wake up, I stay in bed for 5, 10, 15 minutes, and that's my early morning kind of pre-warm-up routine where I'm going to wiggle gently in my body, move my ankle around, move my neck around, feel how my body woke up. I'm going to connect with myself. That's the first part. And sometimes it takes a few minutes because I have to rush and get going. I tend not to rush myself, though. Sometimes I'm going to have more time, and I will go from here to taking a bit more into the morning and make it maybe a half hour to an hour, and just spend the time as I'm getting ready. I include movement and awareness. Then I wake up and I get my breakfast. So recently I've been getting into a whole food plant-based diet in the past 4 months because interested into health and learning that the body needs to be healthy as a whole. I wanted to get on the science behind nutrition, and it's another